Um, oh, I see it's up on the screen. Well, I guess in that particular case, it's, oh dearie. So yeah, on this particular case, let's just go ahead and get to it. I did select easy, right? The only real difference between easy, normal, hard, and gamer on this game, and surprisingly, the timer starts on game start. So game start, and off we go. Because I've just decided we're gonna go ahead and go then. The only difference is enemies will fire more bullets.
Good to go.
Thank you. The enemies in this game will fire more bullets and they will be faster. Functionally, there's no real difference in the time on this game. Now, there are 3 different characters. There's Shin, there's Greg, and there's my boy Mickey. I enjoy using Mickey. Mickey is clearly the best particular person that you want to use in this game. Let's go ahead and talk about why. They have their own strengths and weaknesses. Shin levels up the main Gatling gun, the gun that I'm firing with right now. You'll notice I grabbed an orange thingy, and at the top right of the screen it says POW and total. By powering up your Gatling gun, and more POW allows it to, it counts down to your next level up. When you level up your gun, you fire bigger shots like that. You hit harder. It's very, very helpful. Shin requires less of those to be able to power up his gun. You know, good and useful, but you get your gun powered up all of the way before it ever becomes an issue. Really, if you're dying a lot and using the last plane, that is about the only instance where that is truly useful. Greg, the guy on the far right, recovers from damage the fastest. As in, I take damage right there, and I'm in danger, and eventually, as you can say, it says extinct, and your danger flashing bar goes away. What that means is that you have a health bar, but if you take another hit while you are flashing and it says in danger, you're automatically dead. So it's kind of a one-hit kill, but not truly. You just kind of go with it. Greg recovers from it very, very quickly. I don't remember who is slower, Mickey or Shin, but they're both slow, and you don't really want to have that be a thing that happens. By and large, you should be taking hits. Me, I tend to take stupid hits. I will frequently go, oh no, there's the thing that I need to grab, and I'll beeline for it, even though there's, I don't know, a boss in the way. That's not a thing you should do. So don't do it, really. Yeah, like that. That was pure unadulterated intelligence. So I have to wait for danger to go away, and now I can take another hit, but I mean, you're not functionally immortal in this game. Your health bar eventually gets so low that you are constantly in danger, and then next hit will wipe you off the map. Because, well, I mean, that's fair. That's how the game was designed, and I like it for that. It's good. Last character, and the one that I picked, Mickey, clearly the best in the game, as we've already outlined. Mickey's a fantastic character. Reason being is, I forgot that plane could fire forward. That was neat. Mickey gets more special weapons than other people. And it's not like initially he just gets more for his plane. What happens is that he gets, there are certain floating items that you can pick up on the screen that will occasionally appear. For example, that one right there, that was a fuel up. It restored my health bar. It's kind of how it counts in the game, just by and large. But there are floating items that will give you more special weapons. Like, you buy the special weapons ahead of time, and then the game will be gracious enough to give you more of them in the stage. And Mickey gets vastly more than anybody else. And since those are going to be predominantly your biggest way of killing the bosses, that's kind of what you want to do. So, I mean, you shouldn't be taking damage, so Greg is kind of off the table. You wind up getting enough gun-ups that doesn't wind up being a problem, so you don't need Shin either. Really, it's all about the Mickey show. So we take our boy who flew in Vietnam, who is from San Francisco. He's a good old American, and he is here to win this war for you. He's like Mad Mardigan, but instead of a sword, he's got a plane that shoots bullets. So I've already downed 2 bosses, and they are, well, they're dead. That's, they're alright. So I'm in danger. That was good. Glad that I paid attention to the location of planes, especially the slow-moving ones. That's what kind of makes this annoying. And yeah, on Gamer, yeah, there's no difference in, like, amount of health that enemies, well, yeah, enemies, bosses, whatever. They have no difference in the amount of life that they have. The only problem is, in terms of, like I said, it's functionally not any faster. The only difference is there will be homing missiles that enemies chuck at you, and you can't ditch them. You have to shoot them, pretty much. What that means is that occasionally some shots are going to get blocked that should be landing on bosses, and instead they're getting absorbed by things that are also attempting to murder you at the time. So the difference in time is minimal. The problem is that I still just am not great at this game. I'm like a minute and a half off of the record, which, you know, to be fair, it's a shooter. How can you be that far behind? And that's a fair assessment. You'd be surprised. And you'll see where on the next stage where that big difference in time comes into play, because we actually started stealing strategies. There's a lot of S sounds in that sense. We started stealing strategies from the tool-assisted speedrun for this game. And I'm hoping that I am able to demonstrate them effectively. I'm just going to take that hit and fly right on through. Not so much a damage boost as that was a, man, I really hope that I'm able to survive this. And I did. I have, in fact, been watching Toad play Willow. You are correct, sir. Now, this stage is where things start to get real, if you will. I buy my first next plane. I buy 3 items. I'm not going to mess with that super shell. Not just yet. One of the things I wanted to mention about this game in terms of how it can be a little bit frustrating, just a smidge, is, I mean, you can see the gun is automatically firing, and you don't hear me furiously tapping on the controller, which means it's probably not me actually pressing the button, which, or repeatedly pressing the button, that probably wouldn't be very healthy for my hands. Reason I mention that is, if you hold down the button, it auto-fires, and it stops. And then you have to stop pressing the button, and then start repressing the button again, and it stops. I don't know who thought it would be a brilliant decision to have the auto-fire shut off, but they programmed that into the game. That is a mechanic of how you play the game, and it is terrible. So I am constantly having to stop, press the button, and then stop pressing the button, and then go back to pressing the button right around the point where it's going to peter out on its fire rate, and it's, yeah, no. So keep that in mind while I'm fighting this next boss, because what I'm about to, you know, be doing against this boss is, well, I did mention the whole we stole from the tool-assisted speedrun, and, I mean, it's not any of that crazy, stupid, amazing, look at me, I'm, flying through a bunch of different sub-weapons, like swapping through them rapidly, and then, you know, dropping off, dropping all of the bombs and nukes and whatever else it is that I'm going to have. But you can do this thing where you are rapidly cycling through all of your sub-weapons to do a lot of damage very, very, very quickly, because that is also stacking along with the gun, so I have to be manually pressing the gun, stopping to press the gun, refiring the gun, all the while selecting the special weapon and then unselecting the special weapon, and the boss is dead. So that is awesome, and it is also terrible. And I'm only a second and a half off of my own PB, so we're just going to go ahead and keep on rolling here. I'm not going to worry about finishing off the Look It's All stages part of this. Not until I'm pretty much at the end. We'll double back and take out the stages that I absolutely have to. And in fact, if I don't think my count is right, so I might not get to a level 5 gun for this boss, which is a bit of a necessity to kill it. Since we're out over, you know, the ocean, I think you can probably guess it's a boat, and you'd be correct. It's a boat. It's a big boat. It's a boat so big that if you take too long killing it, the game makes you pull a U-turn in midair, so that you can go back and try to finish killing it. It's rather large. Of course, I guess the other option would be you're flying a Harrier and the screen's going to stop scrolling and you'll just move up and down and... Oh, I got it! Hooray! I got that last power up. Now don't die. But the count on those power-ups to be able to ensure that you get to, to get to level 5, there's one cannon out in the middle of the desert that sometimes it will drop an orange instead of a blue. And I did not get the blue, which is very annoying. So... this is not a fun situation, and I'm hoping that I can somehow still salvage this, even though I don't have the weapon that I should right now. So the first 2 cannons are done on this carrier. You can either go out of your way to blow up the middle of the ship, because as you can see it's now taking damage, or you can blow up these 4 cannons out on the sides. And that's not how you want to be handling your business, but occasionally that's how it's got to go. Get it, get it, get... Oh, I didn't get him. So that right there is one of those weapon up items I was talking about that I'm going to be ignoring because it's going to take longer. There we go. It's going to take longer for the game to decide, oh, right, you're done with your special weapons, because it counts down how much you have left and refunds you that amount, to you. So you can actually make money by collecting those at the end of stages and then just not using your special weapons. Not a great idea to be taking a bunch of special weapons and then ignoring them, but sometimes that's how the game's going to treat you. What are you going to do about it? And the answer is cry. That's all I'm going to do. That, drink some coffee, and then talk to my cat, who is promptly asleep again. You're not wrong, Corner. Yeah, this game giving you a life bar is very, very generous for a shooter. However, I did, as I mentioned before, the fact that also this game will do the whole, right, but if you happen to take a hit pretty quickly after you took the first hit, it doesn't matter how much life you had, you're dead. It's within reason, it's fair, and also within reason, there is no reason in this game. The reasons are... I don't know, it's a game that was based off of a manga back in the 80s and that didn't actually even get made into a right proper OVA until 2004. So, I'm not picking up fuel power-ups. I'm picking up gun power-ups. But since I don't really need any more of the gun power-ups right this second, they're not really going to benefit me. They'll benefit the next ship that I pilot. But not this one. This one is maxed out on what it is that it can do. So instead I'm going to be fighting this guy. I'm apparently just going to fly right into his butt, because that's how I seem to want to handle my business against this guy. Maybe I should probably stop doing that, me! Holy cow! I don't really know what the heck is wrong with me and why I can't seem to control myself in public. Oh wow, I didn't need the super shells at all. Okay, so I'm glad that I wasted a little bit extra time there. Mickey is very unhappy with the way I ended that mission, but that's fine. I'm actually 12 seconds ahead of my PB right now. So as you can see, there's a plane that is steadily getting closer to us, and there's a submarine that only surfaces after every couple of stages, and I'm going to ignore them and clear the last mandatory base before I can go on to the final stage. And I've saved up all of my money to buy this very fancy and swanky gun, because of course I am. I'm only going to buy a couple of armaments for it, because again, hey, why not? And I've got heat-seeking weaponry, which is fun. And I've got a gun that fires upwards, which is, well, interesting. The reason that you buy this plane specifically for this stage is, well, like everything else in this game, what do I need to best appropriate the boss, because that's what you do. And unfortunately, I totally missed that guy right there. There we go. This boss in a cave, which means there's ceilings, so you can probably guess what it is I'm about to go up against, since I was also heavily foreshadowing the, hey, look at this cool weapon that fires upwards. Yeah, he has a tiny little dot of a hitbox that, ow, I'm gonna fly into that guy, that's cool. He has a tiny little hitbox that is an orb that is inside of his body. This big, roving. It's on a conveyor belt on the top of the screen, but there's also a conveyor belt on the bottom of the screen that just kind of keeps pouring in missile turrets and what have you at you from the left and right. And it's very annoying, and I hate it, because normally the tiny hitbox boss is a bit of a staple, and you just kind of have to, I guess, maneuver or flank or whatever to try and fight him. And in this game, they decided, nah, that's too easy. Tell you what we're going to do instead. We're going to go ahead and have, I'm going to go ahead and burn off a couple of these. I don't need all of them right this second. We're going to go ahead and have the tiny boss, but also has big flamethrowers coming at you, and also the boss is going to have some flamethrowers of his own. I'm going to keep a couple extra just to have them on hand, just to play it safe. Also the Mega Crush, because of course I do. So here's the boss. I'm hitting his... That's the weak spot. Do you see the orb? That's what I'm aiming for. Isn't it fun? Let's actually play this a little safer and grab this unicorn. And also, there's a lot of enemies on the screen, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the Mega Crush. It's possible to shoot it with your gun. It is definitely not a recommended thing. You don't want to do that. Now, as we've all learned, once the weak spot starts changing colors, that means you're doing good, kid. You keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. And that means he's nearly dead. Unfortunately, I lost my shield. But that's fine. That's fine. We've cleared all of the mandatory stages outside of, you know, the final stage. But I did say this was going to be all stages, unless in the next, like, second I get the word of, what are you doing? Please go and do something else. Then we got to do all stages. So for starters, let's go ahead and take out a truck. Truck, easy and simple. Off to the races we go. It is just a bunch of trucks. They are the supply convoy. They are on the ground. Oh no, I took damage. What are you going to do? And there's a certain amount of time limit, but all you have to do is dodge a couple of big rocks that come at you right at the start, right like that, and then congratulations. You get a little bit of cash for it. It's, if you're trying to farm up some extra money, there you just made 30 grand, which, well, I would have loved that, but, you know, sometimes that's how the game's going to treat you. But anyways, we then have to progress on to the stages that I have skipped. And I keep saying a lot, and I apologize for all of that. What's the best plane? Oh, obviously the fast one that has a lot of air-to-air. I'm going to take that and the Mega Crush, and maybe I might need this Thunder. I doubt that I need this Thunder, but I'm going to go ahead and bring the Thunder. Because, at the end of the day, if you have the opportunity to bring the Thunder, brother, that Thunder needs to be brought. This stage, if you take no deaths whatsoever in the run, you can actually clear all the main stages and go right to the final boss, which is fun, and you should do that. Problem is, if you're me, most of the time you wind up flying into bullets that you intentionally tried to draw away from you, and then you fly back into them because, I don't know, reasons. But you can skip this guy, you can skip the submarine, the CVET. See, there it was right there. I drew that guy off and upward, and I still flew into it. But these guys, they're annoying because there's, 3 of them. But the Mega Crush and then your gun itself tend to make them rather, well, they're dead. The boss is already dead. That's all I'm trying to say. Do I breathe? No. I drink coffee. Does that count? And yeah, the trucks respawn indefinitely on the overworld, but as you can see, oh no, what am I going to do? That submarine got a little bit too close. We have to go take out the submarine, because of course we do. Submarines are fun. I'm going to take absolutely everything. Why not? I mean, I don't need it. This is the token. The only thing that's going to wind up being on this stage is the boss, and occasionally another plane that kind of flies at you. But, you would think, oh, it's the ground-based, it's going to be coming up out of the water, as she do, because there she be, there she blows. And it's, fun. However, one of the planes specializes in, I want to say ground-based warfare. The A-10 Warthog, which is a fine and fancy plane, it is to my understanding. I'm going to go ahead and clear those out, with the Mega Crush. The funny thing about the Warthog, the ground-based, clearly this is what you need to be using to take out this particular boss. A lot of its weaponry, at least, well, I know some of the weaponry, just drops straight into the water. It won't even target the boss at all. So the plane that you think is the plane that you need to be using to fight that boss is exactly the one. Oh, you're right. The trucks do, in fact, eventually stop spawning because there are no trucks. Alright, so we're on the final stage. Off we go. And I go back to using that previous plane because I use this stuff. And I bring in Mickey, who gets, you know, all of the cool special weaponry because, well, it's his specialty. He's good at it, and we like him for it. What are we talking about? I don't know. I keep wondering, why are there so many evil, you know, groups, cartels, PMCs, you know, bad guys in whatever, that specialize in building those. They have to be extremely expensive. You know, big warships and bases and planes with, A, the obvious weakness, that doesn't really make sense to me. But B, how much money are they spending on the big ships when, you know, one little maneuverable guy is going to be able to just go through and destroy everything like that? Why are they not spending all of their monies on, you know, decidedly smaller, faster planes like the ones that are currently tearing through all of their stuff? Is it really because they have so little faith in their pilots that they think, nah, we'll just put like our 5 or 6 guys that are good in control of the bigger planes, right? Because I guess that's where they decide to go with that. Don't you just love it when you have portable nukes that are very, very loosely tied to the ceiling, and if you happen to just fly a little bit too close to it, they just drop. That seems unnecessarily dangerous to me. I wanted to not take that hit, but I took that hit. I tried to avoid the damage. Still happened though. There's a health up coming up, so it's you know, that's how it goes. Keep in mind, though, this was made in, well, the original arcade version of this was made in '89, and then this was released on the Super Nintendo in '91. So, all right, there's my first death. That's fine. Why am I? Well, maybe if I'd stop yapping so much, it's nah, it's fine. That's fine. It happens. Again, the estimate was intentionally at 30 in case something like that happened. It's even worse if it's against the final boss, and I was hoping to try and come in under it to save face for that Chaos run, but I'll still be under the estimate on this, so I'm still going to call it a victory, even though it's a moral victory, and that is obviously the worst victory that you can have. What's the term? Pyrrhic? Pyro? Fire! I decided Beavis was the best way to express my displeasure with my ability to play this game. I apologize for that. That was the kapow and the oh no, and but at least I did in fact finally die. I'm sure those of you were waiting to see this poor schlub just kind of blow up, and there it happened. It finally happened. Don't know why I'm swapping over to sub-weapons. I ain't going to be using none of them. What I need to be doing is trying to get these rocks to fly further forward. Whoops. Let me try and yank my Super Nintendo off of the screen. Off of the console it's on. That's, well, it is the console. The Entertainment Center. I'm trying to remove my Super Nintendo because I didn't undo my cord. It's coiled up. It was a smart decision. I love every second of it. Pyrrhic. Peer Gint. I've got it. Thank you, sir. Yes, no. So, nukes and things and other stuff. Lots of lag. So yeah, I do apologize for the death. I realize I apologize for lots of things, but at the end of the day, when the only thing you can feel is sorry, brother, you feel it. You do you. And if that's what you feel, then yeesh, maybe I should stop. So I don't remember who's up after this. I believe it's Garbanzo Guy. Garbanzo Guy, if you're in chat, you're next, and please, please say something encouraging. Or, I don't know. Don't say anything encouraging. Do not encourage this guy. This guy knows nothing about the games he's playing. I mean, you saw that Chaos Engine run. It was terrible. All I had to do was get to, like, this part of the stage. There's a couple of turrets, like that, and then there's another, I want to say immediate, but that's not correct. There's another, fuel thing right there that I could have grabbed if I wasn't pants on head stupid. But unfortunately, I get hit in the head a lot. Right, yes, so I'm almost to the final bosses. I know that's going to be a bit of a sigh of relief to all those of you that are watching, at least in theory. Yes, no, yes. That's the crushing, depressing talk. Depression. Words are stupid. Right, so first boss, because of course the final boss has multiple bosses, because why wouldn't it? Ah, I took that hit. This boss is, you know, Captain, I like missiles everywhere. I like missiles, don't you? So we burned through the special weapons that we don't really care about. Namely, you know, the super shells, which actually don't do a huge amount of damage. They do more damage the longer that they are in the hitbox of an enemy, and as you will see very shortly for this particular boss, that doesn't really, it's not a thing that happens very much right here. Yeah, it's all like small hitboxes and isn't very useful. So we're just gonna have to, I'm gonna have to make like a couple loops here because I don't know why I swapped to the thunder cannon while attempting to shoot, you know, the tiny hitboxes on this enemy plane. And if I could line this up right, I'd be damaging him right now. Where's the hitbox, game? Where's the hitbox? Where's the hitbox? Oh, it's not even, I didn't even, you know, open up the section of the boss where it's going to be, hence why I can't see it yet. Oh boy. I can understand the pregnant airplane comment. It does in fact look like it. So that little blue orb inside the boss, yeah, that's the weak point. I know it comes as a complete surprise to everybody here that that's what I gotta try and get to and then shoot. I've got a decent amount of life. I've got thunder to be able to hit him from behind. Those super shells are useless. This is why I should have been using that. I should have been using the thunder. Excuse me, miss, does this effectively hide my thunder? Well, yes, it does, actually. That boss is a pain. Yes, okay, I'm not high enough to be able to hit the, that section of the boss. So we're just gonna dodge him a bit, do the yet another freaking loopa-de-loopa, because that's how we roll. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this for a bit. And, of course, the fun thing is, once you run out of specials, oh, wow, did you have to drop a plane on me right there? Did you have to, game? Right. So there's not really much left to him. I'm gonna play it safe and just kind of pot shot him from out here. And now that I'm out of that, I actually have to get inside. I hope this doesn't fail. Hey, look at that! I'm 3 minutes under the estimate! Bad item management on my part. That was terrible. But we did get to see, you know, all of the stages, all of the games. My one question, game, why would you give me $1 million plus in cash if I don't know. There's nothing else to play. Why you got to do that to me, game? So yes, that is, that was UN Squadron. That is, my watch has ended, my time is done. I'm gonna go get stabbed by Ollie, which is a spoiler if you understood what I was just talking about, and if you didn't understand what I was just talking about, I'm not going to mention what it was I was talking about, so it won't be a spoiler to you. Okay. Thanks very much for everybody for watching. I feel inclined to tell you I was somebody other than who I am, so you wouldn't come looking for me after that, but that's a lie. Hi, I was Drumboardist, and that was UN Squadron. At least that wasn't a complete failure. Thank you all for watching. I need a nap. Or possibly just more coffee. Myth, do you have anything to say?
Oh, good. I can hear you now. That's good. That was, chat loved it, by the way. I could see each error that you made. I was like, nope, that W should be a Z. Oh, you reversed the reverse code. Oh, and
yeah, well, I see what happened when you put the password here in the Discord. You put 7 letters, and that's where the N came from.
Yep. B and N next to each other on the keyboard. That's where people were like, why N? That's why. That's fine. It was a super entertaining. So I'm gonna start getting this switched over.
Okay, do you need me to do an intro then for Garbanzo?
Yeah. Yeah, talk about.
Okay,
our
now they
new
can hear us
Garbanzo.
again.
Sure, let me know when I'm...
You're totally.
So,
live.
we Alright, are well, glad to that see was, that he managed Drumboard. to finish his run there, despite these several hang-ups. We thank you all for continuing to hang out with us. We've got a lot more in store for you in this marathon. Garbanzo is going to be coming up here, and he will be running Snow White and Happily Ever After and On the Ball. And then after that, we will have Cruel running Lufia 2 and Rise of the Sinistrals. Otherwise, going on here on Speed Gaming, we have other marathons that are currently going on, including a tournament, a Zelda randomizer tournament that will be starting on April 5th. And we have the Shovel Knight, the Mega Man 3, the Mega Man X2, and the Ori and the Blind Forest tournaments that are going on right now. And I am being told that Garbanzo is now set up and he is ready to start with Snow White. So we are going to throw it over and have him begin his run.